Hey everybody, it's Matt and welcome to Let Me Share a Thought with you. Today is Wednesday, March the 1st. It's about 5 minutes to 8 in the morning, so apologies for getting this video up a little late. Wasn't feeling fantastic yesterday, so I didn't get around to putting the video out, but got a few things to share with you this morning. We're going to do the pick 3 and pick 4 charts for the month along with my picks. Which you're more than welcome to use if you choose. If not, you're more than welcome to just screenshot the charts, pick your own numbers. I wanted to talk a little bit about some patterns and some questions of some of the questions off of comments rather from previous videos. I've gotten a lot of comments, which I'm very grateful for. A lot of likes on the last videos, so if you enjoy these videos, continue to hit the like button. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, subscribe. We're going to be talking a little bit about supporting the channel toward the end of the video. And I wanted to give a special shout out today. So all that being said, I got a lot to cover. So let's get started. First thing I wanted to talk to you about and share a thought with you on is group scratchers. I've gotten a couple comments and questions asking, if I do group scratching. And basically what that is, one person goes out and buys a book and then a book of scratch cards for a particular state. And then, people can send money via PayPal or whatever to, buy their ticket on the roll or whatever. And if they win, they win. One guy who does a really good job with that is Cale Hall. His his YouTube channel is Carolina Jackpot, which I'm going to put a description in the video below or in the comment section below. And I probably said that all screwy, but I'm going to put a link in the description below. That's probably the right way to say that. But anyway, super guy, super honest, super nice. I've been communicating with Cale for, a while, and I consider him one of my YouTube friends. Him and Richard Kelly, are probably the two that I communicate with the most on the scratching side, and they're both, super good guys. So check out their channel, check out, Carolina Jackpot. If you want to get in on a group scratching book, it's fun. I did my first one the other week, 2 weeks ago, I guess, or last week, whatever. But, it's a fun time. You get to keep the money if you win it. It's not a, giveaway. But anyway, I wanted to, just give a special shout out to Cale. Check his channel out, Carolina Jackpot. And I didn't get paid for saying that. I mean that. He's a good guy. So anyhow, second thing I wanted to talk about is the patterns and how do you come up with the charts. Now, if you want to do a daily or weekly chart, which I do that a lot throughout the month, and to be honest with you, if I just stuck to playing my monthly numbers, I'd probably do a little bit better. But there were some really good instances of patterns and numbers that make sense and things over the last couple days here in North Carolina. The draw 3 draws ago, which would have been nighttime, night before last, which would have been the 27th, came out 411. And then the daytime drawing on the 28th, which was yesterday, came out 911. And, I watched South Carolina as well. I'm talking North Carolina numbers right now, but South Carolina's evening pick 3 number yesterday on the 28th was 552 or 255. Now, when I looked at all those numbers, and unfortunately I was feeling terrible, so I didn't get out of the house. It was about 9:30 last night after the South Carolina draw had come and gone, and North Carolina draws at 11, so I had a little time in between, and I should have went with my gut and went to the store, but I didn't, and whatever. But 911, had the zeros written all over it, and 9 plus 1 is 10, 1 minus 1 is 0. You got, and that's kind of hard to see. But let me write that just to kind of show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, the 911, and you got the 9 plus 1 is 10, 1 minus 1 is 10, and then you got the other one to the 9 is 0. So you got 0, 0, 0. And then North Carolina and South Carolina, tend to have a relationship sometimes North Carolina follows South Carolina and vice versa. So, in order to identify patterns, you have to really watch the numbers and kind of be a student of the game, so to speak. You got to be familiar with, numbers that have come out, what numbers come behind other numbers. But in this instance, this is, again, 2 times 5 is 10, 5 plus 5 is 10, and then 2 times 5 is 10. So you got the zeros on the South Carolina side. The date number, the date last night was 2/28. So 2 plus 28 is 30. So again, you're looking at the zeros. And of course, 000 fell in North Carolina last night. So, we're starting off March following a triple. I probably won't play today, just because I generally don't play behind triples. It takes, a couple draws to get all that craziness out of the air. I may play a couple of the numbers off the monthly chart just to, kind of get the ball rolling. But anyway, that's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about when I look at patterns and numbers that make sense. Also, when you look at the chart, if you have different setups, like the circled numbers, the date numbers, or, bottom and top, which I missed one right here in the middle. If they're too close together and too spread out, in the past 6 or 8 drawings, I've seen this setup 2 times. Both times the number came from this area. I'm going to pick from this area, and that'll help narrow down the number, help narrow down your picks. It's not an exact science, and the patterns do change, so you want to, be able to identify, well, I picked here and the number came out here. Well, then the next time this setup comes, I'm going to skip it. I'm going to watch and see where the number came, and then the third time it comes again, I'm going to pick from this area if the number came from here a second time. Now, if that is just gibberish and doesn't make sense, I apologize. But what I'm trying to do is trying to give you an idea of the things that I look at and when I'm picking the numbers. And I also look at like in North Carolina, every time I see a 9, I think 4 on the next draw. Because that's just the way it's been. Which is also the mirror or the flip. Same thing with the 1s. I look at the 6s. So you got the 9s and 1s, 4s and 6s, and again 4 plus 6 is 0. So there was a lot of clues to this 0, 0, 0, and then generally the lottery doesn't make it that easy to pick a triple. But I guess they knew I wasn't going to get out and play, so they figured they'd just throw that in my face. But anyway, let's see what else on the patterns. Also, the pick 4. This is another pattern that I wanted to address. The pick 4 numbers have a lot of interesting patterns, that you can pick up on. Again, the location on the chart, which I like to use the pick 3 chart if I'm doing dailies on the pick 4, because most of the time the daily pick 3 chart will include the pick 4 numbers, and it doesn't have as many numbers, to kind of cloudy the waters. So that's one aspect. The other aspect on the pick 4 that I'm, really honing in on right now, I actually got a pick 4 hit this past month, and I only played the pick 4 probably 10 times out of the whole month, just kind of messing around with some different formulas and thoughts. But there's an old school philosophy that's been around 30 years that a lot of the old timers that play the lottery use, and they call it, they look at sets. Like the 4-digit numbers that go together, like 1, 2, 3, 4 is a set. 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, 0, and then you got the 2, 4, 6, 8, and the 3, 5, 9, 7, and numbers that are in a consecutive order. They don't necessarily come out that way, but the one that I'm playing right now in North Carolina, I'll go ahead and share with you. I'm not superstitious, so. I'm playing the 5, 6, 4, 3, which on the monthly chart on the pick 3 is right there. On the pick 4 chart, I'll show you in a minute, it's not on the chart. But I'm playing 5, 6, 4, 3 because I've seen 3 out of 4 of those numbers come out multiple times, and that's what I'm looking for when I'm looking for these sets to complete. Like 2, 4, 6, 8, which is one of the ones that a nice lady shared with me about mid-month last month, and we were just talking at one of the gas stations about how we pick numbers, and You know, she's very old school and very good at it. I mean, she hits the pick four a lot. So I've been trying to learn from her, you know, some information on, you know, how to pick four numbers. And one of the ones that she pointed out was 2, 4, 6, 8. I mean, because the 4, 6, 8 and the 2, 4, 6 and 4, 6, 8, they've come out with different numbers. Like, for instance, 6, 4, 8, 3, or 2, 4, 6, 7, or 2, 4, 6, 6. You know, if you see those sets that have an incomplete, you know, if they're not complete sets, you know, that's what I did. I started playing those to complete the set. Another one that kept coming out was the 9012, and it kept coming like 9011, 2106, you know, different. It had 3 out of the 4 in the set. So, and again, this is another one of the ones that I missed, that I was telling everybody, play 290, you know, 2910, fell in North Carolina about a week ago. So anyway, that's some, you know, some thoughts I'd like to share with you. I'm not going to add too much to that. I just wanted to, you know, to mention that. And when I get to the picks, I'm going to add a couple of those sets on the pick four. You know, and what you need to do in your state is go back and look at, you know, the last, I don't know, 10, you know, maybe the last 2 weeks worth of drawings, and try to identify some of those pick four numbers that haven't completed their sets. You know, if you see the 1, 2, 3 a lot, or if you see the 3, 5, 7 a lot, or if you see the, you know, 2, 4, 6 a lot, you know, you may play that 2, 4, 6, 8, or you may play 0, 2, 4, 6. You know, it can complete on either end. So that's just, you know, my thought on that, and I have seen it twice in a month happen, and I've seen it all over the country too. I mean, a lot of sets showing up everywhere. So like I said, that's an old school philosophy, and it's a very simple way to pick four numbers. And, you know, I've come to learn that, you know, chasing the numbers, doing, you know, daily charts every draw, it's hard. I mean, you got to be good at it, and you've got to know your state, know your patterns, and so forth. You know, I've had more luck, and that's why I've not done a lot of the daily and weekly videos, because the monthly chart is just, you know, producing. I keep hearing, you know, a lot of comments on all of the videos saying, I won, this number fell, should have played it. You know, this number came out today. Connecticut and California and Texas. I think Texas had like, you know, 8 or 10 hits last month. South Carolina, North Carolina. You know, basically everywhere I've been doing this has been having, you know, some success. You know, there's a couple states that have been challenging. Wisconsin has been challenging. New York, New Jersey, you know, some of those have been challenging. So, you know, the numbers are here on the chart. You know, I've just not been picking them on my picks. My picks have been, you know, there's been kind of a group of states that tend to hit every month. You know, so I've been watching those other states, and I tried to incorporate some of what I feel is in the cards for your state for this month in, you know, New York, New Jersey, Wisconsin, you know, so forth, Illinois, Indiana, Connecticut. I mean, this chart, you know, that's another question I get, you know, can you do a chart for Connecticut? It's like, this chart is for Connecticut. This chart is for Florida. This chart is for the Dominican Republic. Everywhere there's a pick three, you can use this chart and pick numbers off of it. And, you know, it's simpler and it's less work, and actually, in my opinion, it's been a little more accurate just to pick 3 or 4 numbers off this chart and play them until they fall, you know, throughout the month. Because, you know, you can play a lot of variations, and I see a lot of other guys doing videos now where they're putting out their monthly, weekly, daily picks, and they're, you know, picking for different states. And, you know, the funny thing is a lot of them are using the 317 in, you know, cooperation with their other formula methods and so forth. But, you know, they're giving you 1,000 options. You know, I don't want 1,000 options. I want, you know, maybe 5 to 10 good options that I can play and hopefully hit and make some money off of. You know, because if you're playing 10 numbers, you know, twice a day, that's $20. You know, and you know, you hit it in any order match, and that's only $40. And, you know, to me, 2 to 1 is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that, you know, the big money, the 500 or the 2,500 on the pick 4, 5,000 on the pick 4, you know, and so All right, that's my thoughts for this morning. So thought I'd share those thoughts with you. Feel free to leave me questions and comments in the comment section below. I'll do my best to get back to you. I did a better job, I feel like, last month of responding to comments, and you know, like I said, we got a lot of likes last month, so I definitely appreciate that. So let's look at the charts now that I've shown you this pick 3 chart for the last 12 minutes or so, 15. Screenshot it. You know, if you're more than welcome to use your own numbers, or you can use the ones I'm getting ready to show you. But I'm going to move on and show you the pick 4 chart. The pick 3 chart, again, I used the 037. I meant to say that too, which I'll come back to it in a minute. Which is 03 is March, and I just used the 7 in 2017. That way, when we get toward the end of the year, just to explain that, when I get to the end of the year, when I start having the double-digit months, you know, 10, 11, and 12, I won't have to do any rearranging on the chart, and the flow will continue right. So on the pick 4s, you know, 0317 March 2017, that's what I'm using, and next month will be 04, 05, so forth. The date numbers on both pick 3 and pick 4 charts are going to be 7s for 2017. And what I did with the 777 chart is just adding the 7s all the way down, you know, each column until the number repeats itself, like I always do. Same thing on the 317 chart. I used the 317 all the way down the chart till the number repeats itself. Then you circle your date numbers. If you're going to do, you know, daily and weekly numbers or charts, you know, you want to take the date and add the day plus month, and to get the sum, and then you leave off the tens place. You only use the ones place. So like yesterday was 228, so 2 plus 28 is 30, but you only use the ones place, so you would have used zeros yesterday, like I was showing in my previous example. So to keep it simple, we're using 7s for the year. It's on both pick 3 and pick 4. So take a screenshot. Here is the March pick 4 chart, March Madness. And now we're going to move on, and I'm going to show you my picks. And again, you know, you're more than welcome to use them if you'd like. Definitely don't have to, you know, no guarantees. But I definitely have had some success over the last little while, you know, just picking these numbers. It's funny because last month, you know, the very last day, last draw, you know, yesterday, and was it North Carolina? North Carolina had the 911 and the 411, and I had 411 on the chart. South Carolina had the 255. I had 255 on the doubles, you know. So they hit the first of the month, they hit the end of the month, they hit throughout the month. But these are the ones that I like for the month. There's no, you know, superstition to this. These are straight off the chart using the algorithm of the 317 and the 7777. So mixed numbers, I like 416, 410, 109, 954, and 210. On the doubles this month, I like 110, 373, 544, 664, and 300. Triples this month, I like the 7s, the 1s, and the 6s. And then on the pick 4s, these are just some numbers I picked off the pick 4 chart. 5184, 9693, 3470, 3962, 5382. And like I said, here in North Carolina, and it's probably good all around, but I'm playing 5634. You know, I really like that number. And look back at, like I said, look back at your states. If you've got some numbers out there and like 9210, you know, that one hit recently in North and South Carolina. If it hadn't hit in your state, that might be a good one to look at. You know, you can look at these numbers, and again, it's 3, 4, 5, 6. It's, you know, 1, 2, or 9, 0, 1, 2, or however you want to do it, 2, 1, 0, 9. They're numbers in order. You know, that 2, 4, 6, 8. You know, that was a good number this past month. You know, looking at the pick 3 chart though, I mean, for my sets, you know, that 3, 4, 5, 6, I like that one. The 5, 6, 7, 8, you know, 9, 8, 7, 6, And I'm just writing these out. I mean, just some examples of like the sets that I'm talking about. So look at your charts, go back on your pick fours, look back for the last couple weeks, you know, see if any of these sets in here have started and not finished, if they haven't completed. If you haven't seen 9876 come out, you've seen 9872 or you know, a lot of 987s or a lot of 678s or a lot of 563s. You know, complete the sets, you know, play your sets out, and then you can play those, you know, 50 cents. If you get it right, it's $100 here in North Carolina for 4 different numbers. If you got a double in the mix, which most of these sets don't have doubles in them, but you know, it's $100 anyway for a 50-cent bet. Okay, so that's my numbers. I hope that wasn't too lengthy. I know, you know, some people are in between on, you know, make the videos longer and doing more explaining, make the videos shorter. I don't like to take that much time to listen to the videos, so I'm trying to hit it somewhere in the middle. I will be doing some more videos this month, and you know, the last item I wanted to talk about was you know, supporting the channel. YouTube has for the longest time allowed us to put a button on the home page of the channel, which, you know, several people, you know, a lot of my subscribers have taken advantage of, and you know, given back some if you've, you know, won some money using my numbers. There was a button on my home page, and it'll still be there, but it won't work anymore, that says, you know, support the channel, where you can give monetary support to the channel if you so choose. And like I said, there's been, you know, several, and I appreciate it. I want to make sure I say thank you to everybody who does that. But yeah, I thought we might have a little fun with that, and you know, since some people are winning and you know, they're wanting to give back, you know, I've put a link in the description below. I opened up a PayPal, so it's paypal.me/let-me-share-a-thought. So you can click on that link if you want to, you know, support the channel. And what I'm going to do for, you know, for people who do support the channel and you know, give back a little when you win, you know, to help me help you, you know, I'm going to try to set some I don't know, kind of incentives on that. Yeah, so if you support the channel with, let's say, a $20 or $25 kick in, then I'm going to do a $5 scratch card, you know, for you. I'm going to go out to the store, buy whatever the newest $5 scratch card is. On the next video, I'm going to do it on your behalf. If it wins money, I'm going to send it to you. You know, if it's, you know, $50, you know, kick in, then I'm going to do a $10 scratch card, newest scratch card. $100, I'll do a $20 scratch card. You know, and I'll scratch those live on the video for my next set of numbers, you know, as those, you know, contributions come in to help support the channel. You know, and the money's yours to keep. I'm not, you know, going to split it with you or anything like that. You know, so giving a little and getting a little, and, you know, because I don't, you know, I don't like the idea of asking people for money, because I'm not, you know, I've never done this, you know, for that purpose to, you know, make money off of other people. You know, I've done this to help myself be a better player, and you guys be better players as well. You know, but there's been a lot of people who've asked, you know, about, you know, giving back some, you know, feeling like it's kind of like tipping the clerk at the gas station, I guess. I mean, if you buy that, you know, $200 scratch card for $5, and you know, sometimes, I mean, me personally, I'll go back and give the cashier $5 or $10 and say, hey, you know, appreciate it. You know, and so I guess some people have that same train of thought on this, and they've been, you know, contributing money to the channel, and you know, I want to be able to you know, reward you for doing that and say thank you for doing that. You know, so I'm going to end on that note. But I appreciate, you know, all the interest. You know, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Share the numbers, share the charts, you know, share the channel. You know, let's keep the subscriber count rolling, and I look forward to having some fun videos with some of the viewer contributions here in the near future. So stay tuned, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching, everybody.